All right, so all that we have left to do on the minivan or micro van is we got to put 4 more riv nuts in this rack. We've got these back 2. We had to run to Fastenal and grab some more because we ran out. So we're gonna put some riv nuts here in the back, put some sealant on them so they don't leak, and this bad boy's done.
Yeah, buddy. All right, what are we doing, Ty?
Okay, I'm putting some sealant on these riv nuts so that not only so we're going to put sealant on the bolt threads so that whenever we screw them in so that no water enters into the van, but also it's probably not required, but I just want to make sure. So we're putting some sealant on the crimp surface of these riv nuts also, so that whenever we squish it, it pinches that sealant on both sides of the sheet metal so water can't seep in past the crimp.
And here comes John.
Oh, man. Man of the hour. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Yeah, so you'll see how that sealant squished out. It's on full perimeter of that riv nut, so that means that this thing's not going to leak at all. That's nice. That's nice. I like these. These riv nuts are really handy.
Yeah, we'll have to grab a shot of hanging off of it when it's back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I can do this.
What are you getting ready to do?
Getting ready to weld up these cut lines. So whenever you don't have a press brake or even a sheet metal brake, box fan brake, whatever, on like thicker stuff, you'll use your plasma cutter or an oxyacetylene torch, whatever you have available, and cut a slit so that you're only bending a small amount of material. But then whenever you're done, this is weak, so we've bent it. We need to weld that back up so it's solid again. So that's what we're fitting to do. Oh, you know, sometimes you just gotta dip the ever-living crap out of it. It's like, where the heck's he at? That in front of me.
Oh, looks good.
It's not bad. I dipped it right off the rib, though. It just,
What is dipping?
it's whenever your tungsten comes into contact with either the filler metal or the base material that you're welding. So you basically impregnate your tungsten with whatever material you're working with. In this case, aluminum, and it sucks up something fierce.
We don't want tungsten contamination.
You don't want tungsten contamination.
All right, the roof rack for the micro van is done. The rivets are in the roof. We can show you a little strength test later. Ty, we got the roof rack done. What's next?
I just got to chase the threads on a couple of these bolts. I had to cut some down, so I just got to finish off the ends of them here. I didn't have all of them the same length, so I'm making them the same length. But really, that's it. We're going to throw some sealant on these bolts, bolt the rack on, rack's done. Onto the bumper.
Onto the bumper. The customer has requested a brush guard bumper for this very tiny little van. And there's not a lot of real good spots, but we'll show you what we came up with later. All right, Ty, where are we on the roof rack?
Roof rack is done. So here's a little stress test.
Jeez, don't flip it over.
I think it's gonna be okay.
I think it's gonna be okay.
I think I weigh more than a ladder.
Yeehaw rodeo. Yeehaw! I think she'll do.
I think she'll do.
Alright, y'all.
Alright,
Alright, y'all. What is it? It's Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning. Here we go. We're gonna hit the ground running. So yesterday, James and I got the roof rack for the micro van done. Today what we're going to do is we're going to build a little bumper for this thing, just a little brush guard so that whenever this gentleman's out in the woods, he doesn't have to worry about, like, you know, brush and whatnot. You know, banging up his fancy little plastic grill. But we're just going to add a little bit of protection. Stay tuned.
Alright, so here's where we are in the Daihatsu Atrai bumper build. We ended up rolling with the factory mounts and making our own, this is tubing, and making our own brackets off of the factory brackets. Just because it's very strange, the left and the right side are not the same. But it'll be looking like this. The tubing is going to come through the little hole, mount here, come out, bend up, around, and match back in on the other side. Made the tubing, cut these plates out on the plasma table. We're going to use Allen bolts because there's not a lot of clearance between the pipe and the bolt once that weld's going to be sitting there. I think it's going to be pretty stout.
Yeah, I'm really happy with these.
So what did we end up doing for the brackets?
So we welded some rectangle tubing to the factory tow hook brackets because what we were going to do is we were going to make a little plate right here, and then we were going to figure out a way to attach the some bolt-on plates that we're going to build the front bumper off of. But if we did, we would end up having to drill holes in the frame to make room for either a nut or a riv nut. So we've got 4 riv nuts per side. The other one's already on. I cut out an 1.5 inch circle in the middle of this plate, which is going to be welded to the bumper. So we'll be able to key our base tube for the bumper. They'll be in the identical location, both sides, and these are going to bolt on here. And then there's no way that, because of how this is mounted, this tube is going to prevent any downward force from flexing on this guy. So there's nothing to worry about. It's going to be solid.
If anyone else attempts this, we recommend this. It also lets you keep your factory tow hooks, factory mount points, still get a cool bumper.
Yep, still get a cool bumper.
Something to consider when you are making your bumper mounts is where's that?
Let's do it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point out the steering.
Yep, so right here is the steering, what do you call it? The rack and pinion. You gotta be careful not to hit that dude. We're gonna probably have to notch it all the way. Yeah, so we're finding this out as we're mounting it, that rack's gonna hit, it's gonna contact that tube. So we're gonna have to do some modifications to the tube. Ah, sucks.
Designers beware.
Yeah.
Rack and pinion. Make sure you got room.
Make sure you got space.
Why we like that? Because the seams are tight and hidden on the side. No one knows that. Not on a good record at that time. I don't want not once you get the burn. And the farthest point of the car to the farthest point of the car.
And then subtract tube width. And then you'll end up with half of a tube width.
In between car or tube and car?
In between tube and car. Super tight fit. Sucks to get around the base and weld, but you get the best gauge in the business.
Yeah, buddy.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Okay?
Look at that little bad boy.
And because we cut it long, we ended up with a little bit of
Over on one side?
yeah, a little bit over on one side. That's okay.
Match this length.
Yep.
Or I'm gonna match this length.
Yep, you can pop off your handles there.
First.
Oh.
Is that for you?
There's what you can do. You can take you a square and go off the square. You know, if you square that to the table, then we're at there to the high. Let me show the same thing over here. We're at 13 and a half. Alright, so then we need to chop it. Right there. Roughly. You know, we're gonna notch it still, so. But really, you could leave that. You could just leave this as is. And know that that's our end point. And just notch through it.
Ooh, even better, quicker, faster, efficient.
Yeah, 1, 2. So then now, what we want is, we want for tube to be perpendicular or parallel with this, right? Because the tube that we're trying to intersect is parallel to this top bar.